And so here we are. All right, so I've been doing this thing, right? I've developed, I think, a multiple personality disorder over the week.
Okay.
I know that sounds kind of abrupt and kind of odd and unexpected. But this is how it started, okay? I'm at work, and we need to find ways to pass time. You know, we're just doing routine maintenance, nothing too exciting. And so, wow, Michael, cracking Arizona as soon as we got started, man. Do you mind? Like, I'm trying to tell a story here. Sheesh. Yeah, it really was. And so basically today or during the work week, I decided I'm gonna mess with my coworker by calling him different names.
Okay.
Not his name. But I'm gonna do it in a weird little accent, like a New York accent, but like a New York like Italian mafia accent, I guess you would say, right?
Mob boss.
Yeah. Okay. And so his name is Rodney, and I was calling him. I was like, "Hey, Pete." I'm like, "Pete, you listening? Skip, you listening? Skip, you listening? Like, what's going on? What's going on? You know, Danny, are you listening to me? Because I got to tell you something. You know." So all of a sudden, it became like he became Danny, and he became Johnny, and I became Danny.
Okay.
And all of a sudden, bro, we're in full-fledged Danny and Johnny's world, speaking on characters that don't even exist, but there's a new character every 5 minutes with an interesting story.
Okay.
So let me tell you a little something about Uncle Danny, okay? Uncle Danny, that's me. Uncle Danny's got a little... Are you listening? Are you listening, Skip? Listen, Pete, you listen? All right. Uncle Danny has a little bit of a gambling addiction. You know, I spend a lot of money. You know, you're probably wondering, you know, he came out of jail. How does he still have this money, you know? And I tell Johnny all the time that you remember Dominique? Big D? I know you remember Big D. Big D's a great guy. Him and I used to do business together. We used to have great times. But you know, his funeral was beautiful, right? It was one of the best funerals out there. And you know, people often ask me like, "Wow, Big Dom's got such a great funeral. You know, Danny, like, how do you feel about this?" And I'm like, "You know what, man? I arranged it. You know, the reason why, listen, I loved Big Dom to death. Big Dom and I, we've done business together, you know, but there was this one time him and I had a disagreement, and, you know, I took him out back, and, you know, and that's all I could say about that. But we paid for his funeral because, you know.
You took care of the family too? You took care of his family?
His mother's living, you know what I'm saying? Like, Danny... Not Danny, but Big Dom. Big Dom didn't have that many friends, but they were paid actors, and so
they was paid actors. And
this is what Uncle Johnny does. You know what I'm saying? Like this is or Uncle Danny, Uncle Johnny, whoever, you know. But Monica, you remember Monica?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. She got liposuction now. And so with that being said, we are here for episode 158 of the Middleman Podcast featuring my guy, my brother. I just took you through a crazy roller coaster.
And that's all improv? That's all at the top?
That's all off the top
story?
Of the dome, bro. Of course, I mean, listen, Monica and Dominique might be real, but...
You get so pat on the back, man.
Thank you, bro.
No stumbles, no nothing.
It all started with a sourdough recipe. Don't ask me about it. Just know that the yeast is rising, okay? Did you?
Y'all gonna put sound effects behind that?
But as I said, we are here for episode 158. I just took you through a crazy roller coaster of a multi-personality disorder. Please welcome to the show, Khy Uniq. Khy, welcome, brother.
Thank you for having me, man.
Thank you for being here. One quick thing. I know I didn't mention it before the cameras went on, but I want to mention it now. We are trying to become a non-explicit podcast. I know you're not one to really swear as much, but I just want to make you aware that, you know, if you do, there will be a you know what I mean? So there's a tally, a number of tally, things of that nature, man. But thank you for being here, bro.
You know, for having me.
We've had multiple interactions since our last podcast, which people may not even be aware of that you've been on this platform once before.
Right.
But we do have, you know, a book here as proof that you and I have met. We've had multiple interactions, but that episode goes back all the way to episode 49 of the Middleman Podcast. And that was published on April 29th, 2022.
And we ain't too far from April 29th. And you said 2022.
2022.
Time flies.
That is approximately 4 years.
Dang.
Yeah, approximately just a little under 4 years since the recording of this episode.
Sheesh.
Isn't that crazy?
It don't feel like it.
It doesn't feel like it.
It don't feel like it.
but you and I, we've had that interaction, we've had the connection. You've done multiple shows since then, and then all of a sudden you disappear, and now you're back. You're better than ever, and I'm keeping it real. Like you disappear, but somehow in the midst of the fog, you and I have, we kept the connection.
Yes.
Am I wrong to say you disappeared?
Nah, you're not wrong, man.
Yeah.
You're not wrong. It's just funny. I know if anybody noticed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I didn't know if anybody noticed. I didn't know if it was felt or not. You know what I'm saying? So,
well, that's
funny.
an interesting point on whether or not it was felt or not.
Yeah.
Why don't we start there?
Okay.
Just to say, was it felt? Did you feel as if you were gone? Because, man, you were gone for approximately 3 years, and all of a sudden I see you come back and a lot more strong-minded than you were in the past, is what I would say. From
has it been 3 years? I feel like away. Okay, so I guess we got to digest, break down a little bit. So away in terms of from the podcast, or you just saying from the overall music scene?
Brother, I think you left the area. Like when I
Really?
say you disappeared, because you had so much going on at an extremely young age. Let's just backtrack and reflect on what was currently going on in episode 49 of the Middleman Podcast.
Mm-hmm.
You had Self-Privilege Essentials.
Yeah.
You had one published poetry book, and your second on the way.
The second wasn't out yet?
I don't believe so.
I think the second was definitely out, because I think the second came out when I already did a showcase event out there in Stroudsburg, and it was a release. So the second was out. I think I was probably on the verge of doing my third.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, you got that going on. You were doing your self-privileged shows, and then that's it. It's just like you hung it up and you left, and the store closed. And I think it's very important for the people who may have, been supporting your store and supporting your music to know what happened and where you went, because there was a whole different sound of music, a whole different agenda, whether with Self-Privilege Essential as well as poetry. So take us back, brother. What's going on?
Sheesh. That's we're gonna be here all day talking about that. So the store. So with the store, it's hard. It was hard to. I'm trying to think of how to word this. I was going against the odds with everything for the most part. The store, in terms of the resources I had, in terms of the mentorship that I had, in terms of just the community, and something that I've spent so much time trying to build. And I realized it was a little disheartening, because with the store, I was there for hours, days in, days out, missing out on a lot of things, man. And the whole point of the store was to bring stuff for us, bring stuff for the Poconos, bring culture to the mountain. And I don't really feel like it was appreciated, and probably to my expectations. You know what I'm saying? I know that some few collective appreciated it, but for what the agenda was of the store and the magnitude of what I was trying to do, it didn't resonate. So I shut it down. Didn't make sense to have no more. And plus, like, the business there, some businesses are still there doing their thing. Shout out to them. But in terms of like a business standpoint, especially for the e-commerce and stuff I was doing, they lost two of their biggest chains. They lost the Subway in the Plaza. They lost the CVS, I believe, that was there. So they were losing traffic. And I'm like, nah, I'm cool, because I didn't want to be on the mountain anymore anyway. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to move. So that's the case with that. And then in terms of the music stuff, I was working on me. You know what I'm saying? Definitely had to just work on me. I ran into a lot of experiences, and I had a whole thing from performing at the Funk Flex thing years ago, and doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes. I was really doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes. I just didn't want to post no more, because it didn't matter to me. It didn't matter about posting what I'm doing. Look at me. It was more of like, I just want to pop out and show y'all, and that's kind of like what I'm doing now. So, you take a couple steps back in order to move forward. You had to build resources and build yourself up to be ready to battle, because it's a war out there. So
you're definitely embodying the whole aspect of creating a natural, organic audience off of social media. You have multiple outlets that you were experimenting now with that I've never seen anyone in this area attempt to use the platforms that you're using in order to create this organic audience for yourself. So, and that's the thing is like, when you came back to posting ever so slightly,
Yo, that's really
I know
funny to me, yo.
Yeah,
I feel like Mr. Carter. Hey, Mr. Carter.
Yeah.
Tell me around the world. Now I'm back again.
That's what it is.
That's what it feels like.
From the outside, from the outside looking in, it just seemed as if like you moved to New York and you were still focusing on music. And this is the only reason I know this information or feel as if I have access to this information is because you also logged these experiences of the trials and tribulations, not so pretty moments, the practicing of the picking of the guitar, maybe writing some lyrics down,
right.
And also a big aspect of it is the insight that you put into some of your captions. Okay. That also kind of help piece the story a little bit.
You read in between the lines,
of course. When it's always in caps, it must be important. You know what I mean?
Yo, okay. I appreciate that. That's tough.
And so, just looking at your social media, it seemed like you were grieving. You had a sense of grieving. You had a loss in a family that was very dear and,
that's
and
recent.
true to yourself.
That's within the last 5 months.
Within the last 5 months.
Yeah.
And,
well, 7 now. Damn, it don't feel like it. I'm still. It hit harder every month. You know what I'm saying? Every month it hit harder, and that's like my second mom. That then is like my mom. So, and I think that's why I'm gonna give you a drop early. I'm gonna give everybody a drop early right now. I'm building a platform, website, KhyUniq.com, and by the time this comes out, it's gonna be live. You know what I'm saying? And basically, this is why I took another break, just to kind of go back a little bit, was because I got tired of social media. You're fighting against algorithms. I'm realizing that it's rigged from the jump. And once again, I had experiences of, going through, I'm meeting people in penthouses. I'm going to A&Rs. I'm talking to these people and they're saying, yo, your joint dope. Like, yo, you super talented. But what's your following like? Yo, you do CMOS? You a wellness guy, or are you a rapper? You got poetry books, or are you, you too smooth to be a rapper? Maybe you should. And it's like, okay, I got to sit back and educate myself a little more. I got to study a little more, and I got to find the right people, because I know what I got to do now. So with that being said, I'm going to show the world that it's possible for independent artists to do all the above. There's no limitation on your creativity, and to build the ecosystem. I'm building an ecosystem around the CMOS, the poetry books, everything that I did within the last 6 years, 5 years, 4 years, whatever, is all coming together now on one platform. And I'm also having the option for people to pay a minimum price, or they can pay what they want. So, I might have a PDF for the book. If you want to support, you could buy the book. The minimum price is $10, but you say, you know what? I like Khy. I want to give him 15. You give me 15. And the goal that we shooting for is $100,000 independently off music, books, CMOS, soon to be merchandise, performances, features, ghostwriting, all that kind of stuff. Events. We're trying to get $100,000. Yeah. I've been doing some of that too. So I've been cool. People think I probably fell off, but never the case. Never.
Quietly working, moving behind the scenes. Now, you had mentioned that you're trying to create an ecosystem for yourself, right?
It's already done.
An ecosystem, right? An ecosystem. It's self-efficient, and it's self. It can control and live on its own, an ecosystem, right? So, what are some of the healthy attributes that you think need to be a part of your ecosystem to help it sustain itself?
Some healthy things to keep my ecosystem rolling.
Correct.
Honestly, simple, straightforward answers: the people, man. The people support, because I think with the people support, it gives me more energy. It gives me more ideas. It fuels me. It make me, wake up and be like, yo, I'm ready to make another book. I'm ready to add. I'm ready to get more creative with how to do this and how to do this. What differences can I make to the website? What other events can I do? Knowing that I got that community behind me and those people that supporting. And once again, I'm not going for the 500,000 followers. I'm a cool 5,000 hardcore supporting followers. That's the motto. That's what we going for. You know, not that specific number, but just the overall message, you know?
An ecosystem, you know, is something that you want to have around you, a healthy ecosystem to just keep everything outside. The cancers that may want to invite themselves into the ecosystem, you don't want them there. And, you know, the more supporters you have, the more authentic people you have, will just lead you to the correct people at the end of the day. You know, and someone within your ecosystem could say, hey, that is a blood cell that we do not want in here. Okay. And we need to inform you that this is not good for your neurons and, you know, and stuff like that. You know, I think ecosystem, I think, you know, just everything around you, to creative support within you. So creating your own ecosystem within to have your multiple outlets of creativity, such as CMOS, the poetry, the music, like you said, ghostwriting, you know, and merch and stuff like that. You know, that's what is essential to you. Now, let me just ask you, because, you know, the CMOS is a thing that's remained out of everything that I remember from self-privilege. Okay. And why is that such an important product to you and to your lifestyle and to your lifeline?
You asking some good questions, man.
Thanks,
you asking
bro.
some great questions. That's a great question, because in that space, in that holistic space, you know, I grew up going to a lot of different shops where you get your oils, you get your incense and all that kind of stuff. None of them have CMOS for the most part. So it's something to me that obviously I feel like it's more beneficial to sell than like selling soaps or selling oils or selling incense. It's something that is really changing people's lives day in and day out, whether it's strengthening their bones, it's giving them the minerals that they need, it's helping their hair grow, it's helping blood circulation, it's helping libido. And the difference is now, see, that's what I'm trying to tell people. The difference now is that I learned how to make CMOS from the team of one of Dr. Sebi's children, who is the godfather of the holistic space. But when I had my store, I didn't know how to make CMOS myself. I was buying, so it was a lot of stuff that I was doing that, you know, you learn through the trial and error. You know what I mean? And it's some stuff that people can't really teach you. And I ran through so many times of me trying to explain what I'm trying to do to people, and they acting like they don't understand. Same thing with this ecosystem. It's been so many times I preached this ecosystem to people of like, look at Rihanna with Savage Fenty and the makeup and all that. Like Jay-Z, Rock Nation. I mean, he got a lot of stuff going on, but you know, Duce, like people, they're not just sticking to music. You have a brand. And now looking at it now, and I'm happy that I didn't get signed when I was younger, because I see now why the younger ones get signed. It makes sense why the ones that's like 19, 20, they get signed for the $50,000. I think that's some money. When you get older and you touched a certain amount of money, or you've done some things and you've seen something, you're like, what?
Yeah.
That can't even buy my house. What? You know? So once again, I'm just dissecting and watching all of this revolve in my face, and I'm like, wow, unwrap. I'm like, it's crazy, yo. So
well, you know, what I will say, it sounds like you really honed in on the business aspect of being a creative, you know, through your music, taking time to study, you know, other artists who have done it, who are doing it, and surrounding yourself by just other people who may have lent in some advice or been in the rooms with other people such as that, you know. So like, you know, you're taking all this information, and from outside looking in, I really think what it comes down to is you took a step back. You may have disappeared off social
I will
media.
laugh every time. Put it like a laughing count every time, bro, because that's just crazy, yo. That's just hilarious to me. I wonder how many people feel like that.
I think a lot of people do.
Really?
I can speak for my partner Nezo, you know, our audio engineer, who who felt that way. As a matter of fact, I have an unreleased track that I heard that that is of you and him. He mixed and mastered it, called Candlelights. And it's a bop, dude. And I'm like, wow, that's insane that he never put this out, you know. And, you know, he didn't feel no type of way. It just happened that you come up in conversation, because I think that was when you and I had like had an interaction again, and it's like,
Gotcha.
yo, he's still alive.
That's crazy. But I did go off damn, that's crazy. And it's crazy though, because I got songs that's kind of talking about some of this stuff. I got songs talking about, I got a song called Time Flies, which I performed at the event, and it's kind of talking about who said I'm falling off. And I'm talking about all these different perspectives of which I'm assuming that some people, I don't know if it's true or not, because I don't really, I've been out the way. It just showed me a lot. The area, it showed me a lot about just people, man. And I don't want to get long-winded on that.
Well, you know what I can say for a fact is Kafar Myers has disappeared.
Okay. I'll take that.
And now we have Khy Uniq. And so I'm really intrigued as to what made that shift for you. What is the difference between Kafar Myers and Khy Uniq?
Great question. I'm actually working on a video for that. It's crazy. Like you're like messing up my promo plan a little bit, but it's okay.
It's okay.
It's all right. So Khy Uniq is the one that's taking more initiative. Khy Uniq is the one that's saying his way is the right way. And not like in a super arrogant way, but it's like time and time again, I prove to myself, that's the main person to prove it to, that you kind of on point, Kyron. You know, you kind of on point. There's certain things you still got to learn, but it's been so many times people tell me, yo, don't do that event. Why are you doing showcases? I get so much slack for doing showcases. Why are you doing that? You shouldn't do that. You know, you're giving too much to the artist. Why are you even giving that much to the artist? Why are you making that kind of song? That song isn't good. But then when I go perform it, when I go choose to do something, it works. So Kafar Myers is more of like looking for a little more approval, looking more like, yo, you thinking? Khy Uniq is more of like, this is my idea, bro. The 100,000, I'm gonna keep bringing that back. Kafar Myers wouldn't have done the 100,000. KhyUniq.com. He wanted the ecosystem website, but to try to see if he can inspire a group, a class of independent creatives and say, yo, this is bigger than just Khy Uniq getting $100,000. This is showing. This is going to be a tedious grind. It's going to be a lot of work. People ain't just going to give that up. This is, you got to show and prove every day. But if I can do it, it's going to create a whole different movement in terms of creators, period. Rappers, I feel like artists get pimped out, man. I'm tired of artists getting pimped out. I'm tired of it. It bothers me.
Yeah.
It irritates me. You spend all this money on music video and all this stuff just for somebody to say, yo, you should have had a better car in that video. Yo, where the girls at in the video? And it's like, so I spent $1,000 for this music video for somebody to tell me I should have wore a better outfit, or I should have did it in the city instead of in the Poconos in the woods. I spent $1,000 for that. Nah, man, no. And I'm telling everybody, every artist, I'm what I learned, I don't mind giving back. And that's another thing that most people don't do. They gatekeep, and that's fine. But I'm not doing that. And that's on KhyUniq.com. I'm gonna be having PDFs of certain information, certain blueprints, how to build the website, how to do all this stuff. I'm giving game. KhyUniq.com, yo. I'm telling you, it's gonna be big. And we gonna get 100,000. It may take some time. I don't got a deadline on it yet, but it's gonna be different, man. Word.
Do you have like a timeline on when you may present this this website to people so they can really tune in and be a part of it?
Honestly, within the next 2 days, it's gonna be done.
Really? Okay, cool.
Yeah,
So
within the next 2 days,
It'll be out.
It's already done.
Yeah.
Like, I'm trying. This one I'm trying to tell you. It's we here, man. Like
ecosystem.
I done been around a lot of people, and they, once again, I'm hearing what they saying. It's like a lot of these people don't know what they talking about.
May I interject real quick?
Yeah.
Who are some of these people who may have been in your ear? Not to name names, but just maybe their
BMI representatives, A&Rs for certain labels. You know what I'm saying? Independent artists who have toured with certain artists and that opened up for certain artists. And I'm just like, you mean to tell me it looked good on social? Like, you rather just look good on social media? You mean to tell me like you got 200,000 followers and you struggling to make $3,000 a month?
That's what it is.
That's what it is.
That's the name of the game, is to look pretty on social media, man. And that's
not guy.
But I'm glad you recognize that.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're kind of exposing it to a handful of people, because I mean, I'll say it time and time again, man. If you have 94.2K thousand followers on Instagram, but your reels only have 100 views, stop. The math ain't mathing, bro.
Yeah.
Cut it. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Just because you have this blue check mark, it's oblivious. And so
Smoke and mirrors, man.
you have A&Rs, you have people who are so and so respected in the game telling you that, Khy, I don't know why you're doing this. It doesn't make sense. You're wasting your time. So why do you do it? And what brings you to the decision of wanting to go through with it? Although so many people who have quote unquote done it are telling you that it's not a good idea.
The showcases, or
just music in general, because
they're not me.
I like to know how people combat uncertainty, within themselves,
because I just feel like people aren't me. Like, I know that sounds crazy to say, but everybody got their own skills. Everybody got their own skill set. I might not be able to do certain things you do. I may not be able to walk in certain rooms and get certain deals done like you can, and it might be vice versa. I just believe that a lot of people aren't taught to believe in themselves and not to trust their gut. I've been trusting my gut since I was born. You know what I mean? That's what kept me out of a lot of trouble. That's what kept me out of a lot of situations. It was me listening to this. It was me listening to me, God. It was me listening to myself and God, and that's what's been guiding me through, me and God. Honestly, it's this voice that says, Kyron, try it, give it a chance. I got you. And if it work, what they say, a coward dies, 1,000 deaths, a soldier lives but once. I don't like that feeling of like, it's like part of your soul leave. It's like you want that girl, but you don't talk to her. And then you feel like weak for not talking to her. You're like, damn, why I ain't say nothing? What's wrong with me? You know what I mean? That's what I don't like, that feeling. So it's also fighting that. And once again, it's that competitive spirit of, okay, I want to prove y'all wrong. And once again, people told me not to do this 100K. And that's what the whole theme of this website is about. It breaks down all this. It breaks down, your following isn't big enough.
Let me go to your website here, because it's
not there yet.
No. I was able to grab a screenshot here off the khyuniq.set.bio.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Set bio.
It kind of correlates into what we're talking about here. But right here it says in all caps, well, not in all caps, but it says right here is at the bottom, it says anti-algorithm. And it's just talking about, just your allocates. Am I saying that right? Allocates. Khy Uniq is a soulful rap artist blending introspective hip hop with R&B melodic depth. A published poet, soulful me and soulful more. He delivers heartfelt, purpose-driven music that inspires self-belief and growth, which you do. You really do, man. Everything that you put out, even from the past and to today, it's funny, dude. You're a really great writer, and you tell really great stories.
Yeah.
And it's true to you. We just had Elijah Daquan here not too long ago, and he's spoken about how you'll never hear him speaking on a track about killing someone because it's not who he is.
They wanted me to do that too. They wanted me to be they wanted me to be on boats popping bottles with girls shaking all that, and I'm just like, that's cool, but that ain't me. You know what I'm saying? They wanted me to throw money all up in the air, be in the strip clubs, and I performed at KOD before. King of Diamonds.
Okay.
The strip club in Atlanta.
Okay.
I performed there like 2-3 years ago. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying, bro. You were in rooms that no one even knows about.
I know.
I love it. I love it. That's so cool for you, man.
Yeah.
That really is, because although, like I said, because this world is driven by social media, and if you're off of it, you know what I'm going to say?
Yeah.
You disappeared.
Right.
You're gone. I lost you. Did he fall off? Is
that's why we got the website, khyuniq.com. We going directly SMS, text messages, put your phone numbers in.
I mean, it says right here, anti-algorithm. This is another interesting thing that I found. This campaign is all about building genuine connections outside the noise of social media.
Give them the facts.
Supporters can join directly by sharing their phone number, creating a real personal line of communication with the artist. No algorithms. No algorithms. Feeds. Just authentic connection. As a thank you, every supporter is entered to win an exclusive prize pack, including their name credited as a writer on the newest single,
man.
A 16-ounce sea moss gel for wellness and validity, a 100 cash prize, a signed poetry book, Anti-Algorithm. That intrigues me, by the way. Is there another book that I don't know about that's coming out that's titled Anti-Algorithm?
No.
Okay.
But that's a good speculation, but no.
Because it's in quotations. That's why I asked that.
Got you.
It says signed poetry book, quotation, Anti-Algorithm.
Got you.
Oh, excuse me. It says right here, Anti-Algorithm celebrates real community, creativity, and connection, proving that art and support can thrive without scrolling.
That's what it's about.
That's what
and that's what I represent. That's where I'm at with it. And in the words of 50, I'm gonna get rich or die trying doing it that way. That's my way. That's the Khy way. You know, that's what I'm standing for, and that's what I'm gonna go for. And if it work, it work. If it don't, it don't. I'm gonna be satisfied with whatever, because I know I'm not. You know, I'm being malleable and flexible with trying to find the midpoint, but I'm not rocking my hips on TikTok. I'm just not, and that's me. Some people, that's me. I'm gonna be me, and I don't want people to see me and be like, "Yo, he seemed way more different through this." And when I met him, like obviously I may be a little different to a certain degree. You know, I gotta put on a show. I gotta keep people entertained. But just like this, you hear my music, then I get him like, "Yo, this guy was like super chill," but in his music, he was talking. Nah, I don't want that for me, and that's okay. That's the problem. People thinking that's not okay. That's not the norm. I don't know. When did it become vice versa? We're like in a world where up is down, down is up. I'm the one to sit there and say, when has it ever been that? Everybody is sitting in piss and thinking it's water. I'm sitting there like, y'all ain't realize y'all sitting in piss, and they looking at me crazy for saying, this is not piss, this is water. I'm looking like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And I gotta go walk my walk. I'm building my arc.
You're building your connections. You're building your authenticity here. I really like the fact that you offer a real feel of supporting and really being there with you. I mean, right here, to just give a credit as a writer on one of your newest singles to just Kevin Martinez or Michael Incarnato. Is that how I'm taking it? Is that
and that's what we're gonna have on KhyUniq.com. You'll be able to pay for that too. If you say, I want to give $5, can I get a credit on? I love this song that you got. I love this song called "Walking Wars." Can I get be a part of that song? Yeah. Yes, you can. You could don't $5, $10, $20, whatever you want.
Would you set a cap to that?
The things are gonna have caps. Like the poetry books are gonna be like the regular price. But no, the PDFs are gonna be regular price. But since we have a good deal with Amazon and all that, we're keeping the distribution through Amazon. We're not gonna ship stuff out ourselves, not yet. But like the PDFs is gonna be a cap, probably like $5 to $10 cap. But you're able to put.
Well, I'm more so referring to like the song credit.
It's gonna be
like
it may be honestly, it may be like
that's unique, bro. I've never heard of anyone ever doing that.
Yeah.
And so that's such a outlandish idea.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say outlandish because it's like you're gonna give any regular person a potential chance to.
They're not any regular person.
I'm sorry.
I gotta stop you right there. They're not any regular person.
They're not a regular person.
They're my supporters. They're a part. Like this is why it's a team effort. To get to this 100K is a team effort. Whatever you need from me, let me know.
Do you have a name for your supporters by chance?
I don't. You could think of one?
I not today.
Got you. Maybe give me one. Maybe give me one if you got one.
That's what I was thinking. Like the uniqueness colony, but I don't know what to.
That's too long. That sounds too long. No. I don't got one. Well, maybe we should put it. Yeah. Load this up and then see what anybody in the comments says.
All right. So if you guys can think of
you get credit for it. If you could think of a good name, I'll give you $100.
Like for example, Ricky Rich, he is his brand, his company is Lost to a Legacy, and so he calls his supporters legacy builders.
Okay.
So
that's tough.
That's
Shout
just
out to you. That's tough.
That's just an example for you guys if you're trying to understand what we're talking about here. Yeah, we'll definitely find one for you, I'm sure. Yeah. I like the hat, by the way. Shout out the hat.
Shout out to God, man. That's the actual name of the brand. Good at what we do.
Good at what we do. Yeah.
They sponsored the hat, man. They sponsored. So I'm just rocking it. And I've been wearing this hat for like the last 4 days because I've been on go.
I like that, man. I like that. May you pass me that book real quick? Because I just wanna double back on this real quick. I think it's very fruitful and it's very cool to kind of just reminisce. Do you remember writing a note for me at the end of the show? Of our episode 49? You don't remember at all?
Nah, you know why? Around that time, bro, that's like the transitional period of like, I guess what you call the vanishing. Like that certain things was happening that was getting to that level to get there. So I was still even deciding like, how am I going to get this done? Like, how am I going to balance all this? So it was a lot of contemplation during that time period. It was a lot.
And at that time, you were like 22, give or take, 20, maybe even younger, you know.
Yeah.
And I definitely respect it, and it was admirable as to how much you had going on at such a young age, and how much you tried to really bring the community together through your showcases, through your store, through your music. And you know, there was a lack of reciprocation through that from the community, and so. I don't know, man. You've always had a lot of love to give. You've always had a lot of support to give out, and you know, I'm happy to see that you didn't stray away from that. Although it's been challenging to, you know, feel like you're doing the right thing. How do you feel like you're doing the right thing for the community if the community doesn't tell you that it's a good thing that you're doing? You know, and that's what's odd, and that's what's difficult. And I think you battle with that. Even with your most recent showcase as to how much you were trying to do for this area, but it felt as if the area didn't feel like it was beneficial to them because it's just like they felt as if it wasn't worth it at times. But before we get into that, I just want to go here real quick to go back to the poetry book here.
Funny, yo.
Hey.
Yo, you are hilarious. I'm gonna be laughing all through the spot. Yo, you was hilarious, yo.
That's what we do, you know?
All right.
So here we have it. It was a note that you wrote to me at the end of the podcast. It said, to the best podcast around, you're important to the growth of this community.
Yes. Still believe that, for sure.
And
that's why I'm here.
Signed.
Yeah.
Signed and kept here. And so.
Yeah, you got it.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
And so, yeah, I mean, like, you know, I continue to grow for the community, and I continue to build this platform. You know, you gave me a credit to see how far we've come since the last time you've seen me.
Came a long way, man. Shout out to y'all.
Thank you.
Came
And
a long
our
way.
team has expanded. And you know, and we're doing it, man. And so I keep doing it for the community. I keep doing it for the growth. I keep doing it because it's something I love to do. Even though there were times where I didn't have anyone who wanted to come on the show. And you know, to reflect back to your showcases that were. I wanted to curse, but I couldn't.
Oh, okay.
That were extravagant, you know, and really brought a lot of new talent to my radar, you know, and to the surrounding area. You know, there's a lot of people who are still showing love and still, and it's crazy to think that I met them at your store in Carriage Square in my hometown, Tobyhanna. You know, and here I am years later, still interacting with you and still seeing the support. So you continue to do these shows. You did your first show, Self Privilege Essential. That's where we met Crease Cooper, an absolute ace.
Well, that was like that was like probably like my third one. I think that was a different title. Like I think it was still Self Privilege, but my first one was at the Sherman Showcase.
Okay,
probably like in
the
like
Sherman
2019 maybe.
I thought the Sherman Showcase was your second one.
No, I did another one at the Sherman Showcase.
Oh, so
you
did
a couple. At the
you did a couple
Showcase.
at the Sherman Showcase. Okay, so let's reflect on some of the shows that you've put on, and you just had your most recent show, which may or may not be the last show. But
phenomenal, man. That felt amazing. I'm gonna let you finish though, but that was amazing, man. That was amazing. Cause go ahead.
So putting on the show, first show, second. Well, let's just say putting on your shows, right?
Yes.
Because there's multiple shows. The support from the community going into the shows, was it there? Was it more?
Which one?
Let's
Which one
just
you referring to?
as we're progressing through.
Okay.
As we're progressing through your shows, is the support from the community growing? Is your purpose of the show being achieved?
I'm gonna always say yeah, because I never took a loss on it.
Okay.
I never took a loss on it. So it's always a yeah. I think when I first started, it was different because the atmosphere was a little different. No pun intended.
Shout out atmosphere.
Yeah. You know, everybody a little younger, so they looking for more stuff to do. Life ain't life yet. You know, you could hang out on the weekend. You don't gotta go to work because like I said, I did like 19. So you 19, 20 years old. It's different compared to like now doing it. Artists now got kids. Artists now probably don't do the music no more. Now this is a different kind of age, like that 25 through 30 age. It's like it's a big transitional period because it's like, do you keep going? Do you stop? Do you find a new career? Like it's tougher now, you know.
Did you battle with any of those questions?
Nah. I'm not gonna say I can't say that I battled with like wanting to stop. It's just like, how do I do this in a more efficient way where I'm not like 35 years old sleeping on my mama's couch with bad credit? That's what I be thinking about. Like nah, like, you know, I'm telling you, like, it's crazy out here, and I'm trying to help people. I'm trying to help people and switch the narrative. I'm really, I don't want that, and I don't know why that motto is keep being, you know, you got to go broke behind this. It's like, yeah, but also be strategic. Also understand that, like, you're a man or you're a woman first before anything. Where's your basic needs and priorities?
Mm-hmm.
You know, don't get me wrong. Like, yeah, you got to suffer behind the art, but that's another thing. Suffering, that's a whole nother thing that people got to dissect in terms of suffering behind something you love. That's not a good correlation, but that's, once again, what I keep talking about. Like, the mindset of things is so flawed when you in pissy water, but you keep thinking there's water. You think you got to suffer. That's not true. I don't know when did that become a thing, and I don't know if it's a certain agenda. I don't know. Is it a certain thing to keep artists distracted so you can get pimped out by labels, that you can think that you're not efficient enough to try to do something, build your own website, build your own ecosystem, and then try to get $100,000 yourself, owning your masters, and actually giving some of your masters to your supporters, the ones who really deserve your masters.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying?
Yes, I do understand.
So and to some people, I'm seeing crazy.
Suffering of I love that. I've never actually heard of that phrase or saying, suffering through the artistry. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I think that's in this book. An artist must suffer behind their art. That's why it's called the painting. I think that's in this book. Yeah,
that was a bar.
Painting. An artist must suffer behind their work. Yeah.
Yeah. Suffering behind the work. I do it too.
Khy Uniq.com, man.
Check it out. Check it out. It's coming. It's coming. Much
it's
sooner.
already there. It's there.
Let's talk about your most recent, showcase.
Okay.
I will say, it's definitely grown since my first experience of being at your showcase. But one of the things that I will say about your showcase is that it always rewards the artists. You know, it always rewards the artists as well as the attendees. You know, and you try to always get everyone involved, even if they're just there to spectate. And so your most recent showcase, which may or may not be the last one, and I would just keep saying that until maybe you announce whether or not it is or will not be the last one.
Unless we partnering up together.
Hey, and that's neither here or there. We're gonna talk about that off the camera. You know what I mean? Or maybe we're gonna have to talk to Johnny. You know what I'm saying?
Talk to Johnny. Talk to Johnny. Get the money.
Yeah, get the money. We're gonna put Big D in the whatever. Anyway, so as I was saying, your showcases, your most recent showcase, you had a handful of things for the artist who was received the best, okay, or maybe had the best performance, and you had quite the lineup there. Personally speaking, CNRD.
Shout out to Conrad.
Yeah.
Conrad, shout out to you, man.
Dude, he's slick, man. He's got one heck of a sound and one heck of a performance. I came in midway through your show, but you packed it out. You had this vision.
Yeah.
And you had told me about this vision. And I was one of the ones that was like, I don't know if that's necessarily fit for me and my company and what I'm doing here.
Right.
So I was not a denier, but just someone who told you, I don't think it's going to work a little bit, maybe. I don't know how you perceived it.
Because to be fair to everybody that's viewing, it just didn't align with your target audience. That's what it was. It wasn't nothing. I'm not gonna say you was a denier because it didn't match with the target audience of what you guys were going for at the time. So I wouldn't say deny. You didn't say it wouldn't work. But you just said like because I wanted kids there. You know what I'm saying?
Correct. Yeah. And but regardless, you went out and you did it single handedly, maybe with some team and help in the background.
No, by myself.
By yourself.
By myself.
And you hosted that show where at?
At the Pocono Cultural Wealth Center.
It was a movie theater. Never in my life that I think I'd be watching a showcase in a movie theater. I think that's the first that I've ever attended.
So I'm trying to say it's different. Khy Uniq. That's why that's the name.
Yes.
It fits. You can't put me into no box. I could be in Dubai on a Tuesday on a horse, and then I could be reading a book at Barnes & Noble's on a Wednesday. And it's like, why did he do that? He's unique. He is unique.
And so you were battling with location, right? So
a little bit, yeah.
Why did you choose Stroudsburg over any other location that may have been an option?
Because my grandmother passed, and that was kind of like I had some doubt, just to get into my story a little bit, I had some naysayers in my life of, saying certain things to my grandmother of like, Khy, he doesn't, the community doesn't like him. That's why nobody comes to his events. It's like I had talk like that come from even certain family members. Like I had talk like that, like, crazy talk. So this was kind of like a F you kind of thing. And it's like my grandma came to my first one, and I wanted to do it in Stroudsburg because that's where the first one started, and this was the final one. So I kind of wanted to still be in that area because this is the last one. This is the homecoming right here. This is the finale. And that's why having, the projector up there was super cool, and then it was packed. But the funny thing about it is, and this is also why KhyUniq.com is going to be important, because people bought tickets that didn't come. They supported, whether they lived in DC, whether they lived in Philly, whether they lived in Jersey, whether they lived in Dakota, whatever, North Dakota, whatever. And they bought tickets, and they had no intentions on coming. So once again, it created a model in my mind, like, there's ways of doing, like, there's ways around this of doing this. You just got to put in the work, and you got to stay dedicated to this,
What was different for you going into that last showcase? Did it feel any different as compared to any of your other ones?
Good question. Yo, you have some good questions, man.
Thanks,
I
bro.
don't be thinking about this stuff because I just be so in a go mode. I think just the pressure in terms of, like, once again, I I had to find a place to live. My living situation wasn't the best. Once again, I think this was like 2 months after my grandmother passed or whatever the case may be. So just still grieving. I think that was like the hardest thing. That was a big difference. Just grieving, going through all this, and just still trying to stay strong. And then, you're going through so much rejection of, once again, you're meeting these music people. So you have this open wound of rejection after, like, going through it with family matters. So you kind of looking at the world differently. You kind of seeing, like, who's reaching out, who's not, who's consistent, who isn't consistent. And you're looking at the world like, dang, like, it's kind of just me. Like, and you feel maybe a little bit of entitlement, because it's like, I feel like I was there for a lot of people when they was going through things that I knew about. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they don't tell me everything. Maybe I could reach out and do better sometime too. So it's not just a one-sided thing. But I say that was the hardest part of just having a transition from having your home to not having a home, but still trying to do something at this magnitude whilst trying to figure things out.
Mm-hmm. And by yourself, nonetheless.
By myself. I wish I wish.
Yeah, with a team, it can make things easier if you need to step away for a moment. Grateful for my team and atmosphere, and in the event that does ever happen, we have each other's backs, and we can hold each other down and make sure everything still stays afloat. Man, you offered to the people who were there great experience. There was a guy in the front row who was having the time of his life. Puerto Rican Poppy is what we'll call him.
Yeah.
He was out
Shout
there
out to him.
having a fantastic time, really getting the crowd engagement going. DJ AR was there doing
shout out to DJ AR, man.
The 107.5 Diamond.
Shout out to them. Yes.
Diamond. They're doing it big. I'm glad that connection worked out for you big time.
Thanks to you. You connected me to somebody too, man. By see? Yeah.
The middleman is what I do.
Yes.
And you had DSP Mello there for media as well. He's
I had Ayo Denzi.
My apologies. Denz with the lens.
Yes, Denz with the lens. Yes.
But he's another well-known name in the area who's been doing this, whether it be music or whatever the case may be. So you have a lot of people, man, that are reputable and respectable in this area who are willing to work with you.
Yeah.
And I think that's just a testament to your character and what you do for the people. Although the mass majority of the public may not support what you're trying to do, whether you're an artist or a consumer, I think the real people who have been doing it and are establishing it understand how vital you are to what you want to do and how you put it out, man. Because everything you do is authentic.
Yeah.
And I want to just let people know that I respect that the most of you, man.
Thank you.
The authenticity is real through and through 100%.
Thank you.
Who ended up winning that showcase for
Lockhart Devon.
Lockhart Devon.
And it's funny because I met him on a college campus. I met him, and spots was basically almost full, and that was his first performance.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. And he took it away. You guys are doing a great job there, man. It was such a cool experience to be in a movie theater, not to watch a movie, but to watch a showcase.
Yeah.
And the sound
Khy
was
Uniq.
crisp.
Mhm.
The projector was lovely. And then I was able to see you close out the show. And,
Yeah.
And it was an immaculate crowd there.
Thank you.
And it's extremely respectable to be able to pull that for yourself after not doing it for as long as you hadn't been doing it.
Right,
right.
right.
So respect to you for putting on for the community, putting on for everything going on. But let's tap into tea time real quick because we still have a number of performances that I want to get through.
Okay.
And upcoming things that we want to get through.
All
so
right,
I just want to hit tea time real
Let
quick
you
so we
lead
can
the way,
get through
man.
the phase. So welcome to tea time. Not brought to you by, but inspired by Arizona Iced Tea. Cheers, Khy.
All right.
Let's do this. Some ASMR for my people.
All right. What you doing next to the mic?
Bro, I burned my finger today and
do it
that
next to the mic.
hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here we go. ASMR.
All right.
Cheers, my friend. Cheers.
Cheers, man. Cheers. Cheers to success. 100K. KhyUniq.com, man. We're going to get this done. We're going to get it done. It's going to take some time. It's going to take some time, for sure.
One day at a time, one grind at a time, man. With your drive, I have no doubt that it's going to work out. Khy, we have questions in this teapot. Please pick one piece of paper.
Word?
Yes, please pick one piece of paper and hand it over to me. This is tea time, not brought to you by, but inspired by Arizona Iced Tea. And so the tea time question of the day is...
All right.
Okay. The tea time question of the day is, gun to your head, you have to make your best dish. What are you making?
Gun in my
That is
head,
the
I got to
tea
make
time
my
question of the
best
day.
dish. Gun in my head, I got to make my best dish. This is going to sound funny, man. I'm going to make some bison tacos with some sweet potatoes and some chickpeas.
Ooh, bison.
Yeah.
Bison
meat.
tacos.
Yeah.
Where do you go ahead and get bison meat?
Oh,
bro?
you
I
get
don't
it
even
from
know
like
where to get
Wise, Giant?
that. Really?
Yeah.
I be shopping at the...
You never seen bison? I'm dead serious. I be eating bison.
That sounds it. All right,
Yeah,
Joe.
it's more healthier for you too.
Okay, Joe Rogan. I got you.
Yeah, for sure.
Bison. So bison tacos, sweet
Cause
potatoes.
I like tacos
Sweet potatoes and
chickpeas and some wild rice, some black wild rice.
Respect. I like that. That's a pretty good dish there, man.
Yeah.
Best dish without a doubt.
Thank you, man. You know, it's
yeah.
it's holistically, man.
I
It's
respect
somewhat
that.
holistic.
My gun to my head, I gotta make something. You know, I'm making some breaded chicken, some Hispanic rice, and broccoli, dog.
Okay.
My breaded chicken slays. If
Okay.
if I had a girl over and I'm making something, you know, I'm making some breaded chicken, man. And you'd be like, wow.
You could
I
cook
never
this.
had a guy who could cook. And I'm like, we be getting over there with the panko and everything, you know. That's some of the best chicken you ever have. You know, we fry it first and we finish it in the oven. If you know, you know. And if you don't know, now you know. Michael, gun to your head. What is your best dish? Michael is always like, Michael's been my little brother for like years now, right? So I've always like, Michael to me is always a cereal and milk type of guy. But I sometimes he catches me by surprise. Michael, what do we got?
Alfredo pasta.
And Alfredo pasta. You and
I
that
gotta go.
knows. Of course, you're making some pasta.
You heard that? You heard
Italian
that?
guy. Yeah. I love
Canceled. I'm reporting you.
Yo,
I'm reporting this
Kev is
podcast now.
crazy, Yo.
you. Michael is one of the most important members of this podcast. I love you to death.
I'm
And so
reporting
with
this
that being
podcast for
said-
racism now. Look, watch.
Say that again.
I'm gonna report this podcast for racism now.
Whoa.
Yeah, you're gonna get-
whoa.
yo.
We don't have insurance, bro. Relax.
Yeah, that's crazy.
We don't have insurance. We don't have insurance. And so that was the tea time question of the day. Gun to your head. What is your best dish? Let us know in the comments. Cheers, Khy.
Oh, pardon me.
Appreciate it.
I like this. It's good. I don't really drink Arizona.
A good old tea
This
time.
good though.
Half and half strawberry.
It's good.
Did you drink Arizona as a child? Right?
Nah, not
Yes, no?
really.
Okay. Well, respect. You know, I like
Nah.
to ask people, where does that bring them back to in their life?
Got
And
you.
it's always kind of cool to see what stories they have.
I drink a lot of Yahoos.
Yahoos. It's
when I was
pronounced
younger.
Yoo-hoo.
Oh, Yoo-hoo.
Damn. Yeah.
He looked at me like I thought it was. I don't know. Wait. Okay, I'll just leave it there. I'm
The
not
other
going.
day,
I'll
I
leave
was
it
at,
there.
the
I'll
other
leave it
day I was
there.
at work and my buddy said, "Yeah, I'm gonna go home. We're gonna make some chicken. I'm gonna season it in Adobe." I said, "Cool. Let me know when you can print it as a PDF." He said Adobe. I said it's Adobo. And so anyway,
Yeah, I said that a little crazy. It's
that's
all right.
what it is.
As long as somebody got to laugh, man. You know what I'm saying? As long as somebody got to laugh at me, that's cool sometimes.
Well, let's go into some of your most recent shows. Your most prominent show, the one that was published, to my understanding, because it sounds like you were doing shows in Atlanta,
Yeah.
Brooklyn, all throughout, you know, your non-social media hiatus. Well,
I was training. I was doing side quests. I was
Yes,
training,
definitely.
picking up new skills. You know what I'm saying? Coming back stronger, faster, better. You know?
Then you had landed yourself an opportunity to open for a one heck of an artist, you know,
Yeah.
a top-notch artist. His name is The Baby.
Da
And
Baby.
so you got to do a show at Penn State at State College,
Yes.
you know, and shoot, I don't know anyone who's reached that high of a height, you know,
Right.
to even try to put themselves in a position to get that opportunity.
Right.
So I'm kind of intrigued as to know how that even came about, how it came to fruition for you.
So
What an ambitious thing to do, man. What a great go-getter. Respect. Take it from here.
honestly, just resources and connections. My main thing that since been working on this 100K project is that research and resources. That's kind of the affirmation, you
Mhm.
know. And I saw somebody post, you know, The Baby is performing at Penn State, so I just reached out, like jokingly, like, "Yo, y'all having any openers?" You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. And then they actually said, like, "Yeah, let me get back to you." And then from there, you know, we did the paperwork and everything and got everything right, and it was history from there.
Mhm.
You know. And then when I got to the venue, you know, we rehearsed, me and AR, we rehearsed a couple days before and stuff like that, you know, had to work on a set list. I didn't know what I was going to perform because also I haven't released a song in like the last year and a half, 2 years.
Correct.
Right.
If you go
So-
back, it's 2022,
So you
I
got to
believe.
think about this. I haven't released a song,
Mhm.
but I've been making a lot of
But you
different
have some.
moves.
Yeah.
Right. I've been, like I said, I've been in different offices. I can't tell you everything, but it's been insane. It's been a beauty. It's been a struggle to a certain degree, but it's like what you pray for. And then it's like you hear it and it's like, damn, this is what it comes with. It's like want to be in the NBA, but you realize now you can't spend as much time with your family.
Mm.
And you like, but I always want to be in the NBA.
Mhm.
That's kind of what this is like. And so we get to I'm trying to figure out what set list to do. You know, I go to Atlanta, shoot the videos and all that, trying to get some content stuff ready because I was gonna have my videos and stuff playing in the
Your
vbackground.
visuals, yes.
Right? But they didn't have the screen available no more. The screen wasn't available. So I'm like, I gotta walk out of here with some followers. Because that's another thing, artists. Once again, I'm gonna have a PDF, KhyUniq.com. I'm gonna have tips how to walk out with more followers and all that. You pay what you want for the PDF, the guide. It's gonna be all there, man. All there. So I'm like, all right, we gotta walk out with a certain amount of followers. So what I did was when I'm performing, you know, I'm performing a couple parts of my songs. Then I'm doing like the We Are Penn State, We Are Penn State.
Yes.
When I say like me, y'all say
Uh-huh.
Khy Uniq, like me, Khy Uniq. Then what I did was I was like, you know what? I know a lot of y'all in college, right? Some of y'all need some gas money and lunch money. If y'all follow me right now, I'm giving 2 people $50 on Cash App. They went crazy. But the funny thing about it is I had somebody who's a music executive and that worked with certain labels. And they're like, I'm asking them for advice. Like, yo, what can I do to walk out more followers? And they're like, it's funny because they told me the opposite. They're like, you should try to get money from them. You should try to like tell them you're an independent artist and tell them to Cash App you if they like your performance. I'm like, some things just don't feel right. But 9 times out of 10, once again, we're not taught to believe in ourselves. So we just like, and we think that some people that's more quote unquote more qualified knows more than us. But the more you be around people that you think know, you realize they kind of don't know. They do know, but they don't know at the same time. It's very subjective based off how you can do it. You know, maybe you can't pop a wheelie on one leg. Maybe I can. But people can't speak from outside that perspective because they're too tied to ego and pride. So to wrap this up quick, I ended up walking out with like 500 followers.
Wow.
Off
Immaculate.
that.
Yeah.
People DMing me like, yo, give me the money. Yo. Like it was crazy.
That's
It
funny.
was crazy. But the guy told me to do something opposite. And I don't think it would have worked.
How'd you pick? Who won?
So I had a hype man with me and he helped.
Was
and
the
he
hype
just chose
man,
somebody.
Way the
Yeah, shout out to Wader. How you know that?
because I read. I'm a
Hey, yo, you coming like what's his name? Zawa?
no Narwhal.
Narwhal. You coming like Narwhal,
Yes,
yo.
the-
Shout out to Wader, man.
He wore a yellow mask. He was
Yeah.
your stage coach, which I respected the heck
Yes.
out of that, man.
Yes.
To see that on an outlet, on a platform outlet, to even just see that you considered that option, that I would never even.
That was my first day
contemplate.
meeting him.
I
Shout out
never
to
would-
Wader.
I never would have complicated.
That was my first day meeting him, and I ain't gonna lie. Without him giving me certain tips, I don't think I would have done as good. And that was my first time meeting him, and we just got it rolling. And he was and he wrote stuff for Cardi. Like he got history, bro. He did. Check him out, Wader Black. Check him out. He's a great ghostwriter as well. Great songwriter. Got his own stuff out. Been in the game for a while. But once again, these are people. But you know how that go.
Yeah. No,
Once again,
I respected the fact that you even took the initiative to even consider that, because, he definitely probably gave you key aspects, pointers. I'm watching you guys get ready before the show. He's telling you, stand here, stand there, flowers here, flowers there. What's flower thing all about, man? That was pretty
Khy Uniq. It got to
Yeah.
be a unique show. You don't know. That's and when I'm gonna set up a mini tour. That's once again part of the 100K, man. We gonna get there, and I want a unique experience. I want it to be the point you don't know what you're gonna get when you come to a Khy Uniq show. You don't know. You might get a special guest. You might get you might have an opener that's a comedian. Like you're not gonna know what you're gonna get from a Khy Uniq show. I don't want my shows to be predictable. I just want you. The only thing I want you to predict is that you're gonna have a great time. That's it. But yeah. So that was just something I want to do. I never got to do that before, and I wanted people to have the best experience because I'm on that stage. I'm one of the main attractions, and people are. That probably made a couple people's day. They had something to talk about.
Yeah, exactly. And very good on you as just to take the initiative to we are Penn State.
Yeah.
Khy Uniq,
Yeah. Shout out to Wada and Sean. They were the one that recommended that. I had some consultants for that performance.
Absolutely genius.
They recommended that. But once again, KhyUniq.com, man. We got all the tips. We got all the plays, man. Yeah, it's active. Make sure y'all once y'all watch this, make sure y'all go, man.
We'll put it under. We'll overlay it too, so people will definitely be able to check it out. So that was a phenomenal show. One of the biggest shows that you've ever done, in my opinion. I don't know. You tell me.
Yeah, nah, that is. I think the biggest show I did was the Funk Flex one. That was years ago though. I won the Facebook Messenger app, which I thought was a gimmick. Like, I'm like that. They just robbing people.
Yeah.
But I ended up winning that joint.
Huh.
And I got to open up. That was around the time like Meg Thee Stallion was hot, J.I. was hot. And they performed there too. And the Tunnel, for a little background, is like a very popular place of hip hop at one point in time. Like the Tunnel was the place, it was like the Apollo for hip hop. If you didn't perform there, you wasn't a part of there in like the 90s, 2000s, maybe even the 80s, I'm not sure. But definitely like the 90s and 2000s, you wasn't it. So that was the Tunnel reunion. So I got to say I performed at the Tunnel basically under my resume, which is for hip hop. That's like almost the Apollo.
It's big, yeah.
So
how many openers were there for the baby? Excuse me.
I think there was like 5. A couple DJs.
With no disrespect to any of the other artists, but was your set maybe the most receptive out of the
I believe so, for sure.
Love that, man.
For sure.
An absolute dog. He's doing it.
I think I capitalized off it the most. Once again, I don't think most of the people that perform, I think that they were just happy to be there and they wasn't looking at a perspective, how can I capitalize off this? I walked out probably with the most followers. I walked out with probably the most connections. I walked out with probably the most memorable performance.
It's the business mindset for me to see in you now that is amazing.
But see, I think this always been there. It's just that I didn't trust it.
You didn't bring it out.
I didn't trust it.
And you weren't
fully.
You were studying it though too. You needed to study it. You're still gonna make flaws, you're still gonna make errors, but you studied it. And I see it, and it's apparent, and I've said it before, and I'll say it again. One of the Middleman podcasts, what we lack on is business admin, and that's what it is. That's because I'm my business admin.
Gotcha.
I have to do it just as much as you are doing it for yourself. But that's neither here nor there. I want to definitely talk about, because we're running short on time here.
Gotcha.
I want to talk about some upcoming things that we could expect. I know you had mentioned that you don't have anything released as far as music published, recent music published on any of those platforms, such as DSPs.
Yeah.
But what are we expecting? I know I just saw from a post you are close to finishing an EP and you were looking for a couple producers, but by this time this comes out, it might already be done.
Nah, the EP probably ain't gonna be done yet. It's gonna be called Outside of Comfort. So that's definitely something to be expecting.
What can we expect to hear through that EP? I mean, the title kind of says it all.
Yeah, a lot of storytelling. Just a lot of different sounds too. A lot of just a different Khy, man. Hip hop, it got some bounce to it. It got some records that you probably wouldn't expect to hear from me, but some of the stuff is old. I just finally want to get it out. And that's why I'm also doing the pay what you want, because I'm gonna have 3 different sections on the website where you can get unreleased music. You can pay $10, you get all my unreleased music. You get older music if you want to support, and you get all my older stuff when I was like 15, 16, 17. And then some of the newer stuff, like the project, you're gonna be able to get for $10 or $15, and then you could pay what you want. It's probably like $10. You pay what you want.
I'm going to ask you a tough question. I don't know if you're going to have an answer for it.
All right.
So reminiscing and listening to the music that you've put out when you were
Mhm.
younger, 15, 16, so on and so forth. Which one do you feel resonates and is the truest Khy Uniq? The truest to Khy Uniq. You know what I mean by that? So like
Yeah.
it was Kafar Myers putting it out,
Yeah.
but there's still Kafar in
Right.
Khy,
Right.
you know?
Right.
And so reminiscing, listening to some of your tracks, maybe, you know, it's kind of was a little bit of a blueprint as to the direction of where you wanted to go in your music nowadays. Is there any track that you can think of?
Is there a track that I can think of that's out? That's like the truest to
Khy Uniq? Yeah, exactly.
That's out right now.
That maybe you surprise yourself, like, wow, I was doing it and I didn't even know I was doing it yet.
Nah.
Okay.
Nah, it's true to Khy Uniq. Nah, not at the moment. Nah, because a lot of my stuff, once again, it didn't sound. It sounded good, but it wasn't what I wanted it to be fully. I just had to put it out. Had to keep momentum. Once again, I wanted a certain sound, just like I wanted my website to be a certain way. I wanted my business to be a certain way. But the people that you work with aren't as tied to what you're doing. They're just doing their job. They don't care to put in those extra hours to, unless you have them as your team. I didn't have the team. I just was going to different studios and working with different engineers and all that. So, nah, I can't say because I didn't fully get the sound that I always wanted out. And once again, I'm getting that now, even if I got to do it myself. So this project that's coming out is going to be the last project that I'm not 50% producing.
Okay.
This project, I don't have no production credits on it, but this will be the last one. I'm taking a lot more stuff into my hands and taking more initiative in making everything, my music, my books. I'm not trying to be Mr. Do-It-All, but you do got to get your hands dirty, you know? And I never had a problem with that. I want people to do as I do, not do as I say.
Correct. Exactly. You know? Yep. I respect that. I know how to, I get it. I get it. 100%. I relate.
Yeah.
I relate hardcore. Listen, man, there was one question that may strike controversy, but we're going to ask it. So let's talk about the artists from our area of where we grew up, right? There's multiple artists who have made music that we've worked with, that you've worked with. And let's just say, you know, maybe we're going to name off maybe our top 3 within the area. And I'm talking beyond Poconos. I'm talking like this NEPA area that maybe you feel have the mindset and the work ethic, the drive to potentially be an independent artist and to grow on their own. Okay. So,
you answering this too or no?
I'm gonna go for, huh?
You answering this too or no?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Of course. Yeah, I'll answer it. Come on.
All right, go ahead.
I'm not gonna stab you and then leave
it's
you
okay.
alone.
I'm used to being thrown out to the wolves. I'm gonna come back with a mink.
No. I mean, like, I'll go ahead and say, you know, I think I'll go with 3 people, you know, and it's because of pure talent and ambition and drive. No particular order.
Okay.
Kreese Cooper.
Okay.
SMN Tyreek.
Okay.
I'm gonna exclude you from this because you're here. Okay. But you do fall within those 2. Okay.
Okay.
SMN Tyreek, and shoot, I don't know if I necessarily have a third, so I think I will have to give it to you. And I'm just talking. That's very Pocono driven.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think from out here. I've numbered Elijah Daquan is another one. Ricky Rich is another one.
Yeah.
But I'm just gonna stop there.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna stop there.
I'm gonna go with Khy Uniq, right? I'm gonna have to every time. Kafar Myers second. Nah, I'm joking. But nah, Khy Uniq for sure. Second, I'm gonna say Joey Baggs. I don't know if you heard of him.
Joey Baggs, no, I don't believe I have.
Joey Baggs, he's been doing it for a while. He's dope. He actually, I think he got a track with G-Eazy.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Like he's doing his thing big time. Low key, but doing his thing. Third is hard. I may have to put Kreese. Nobody else comes to mind. I may have to put Kreese, but I don't know, man. I don't know if Conrad count, because Conrad, he used to live out here, I think. I think Conrad used to live out here, but I think he's based in, I don't know, New York, Jersey. I don't know where he's based at now, but so I don't know if that's fair to do if he's an alumni.
I'd give him that.
So I give Joey Baggs, Conrad, and then honorable mention Kreese Cooper. And shout out to SMN Reek though too. He came like one of his first performances at my showcase.
Yeah, he's
been doing his thing for a while.
Yes, he
has. So I salute his grind and that he didn't stop.
Well, respect to you, Khy. Respect to you as a person on the grind, your ambition, your poetry, anti-algorithm, brother. I think we've hit everything that we needed to hit while on this show, man. You are well on your way. You're doing extravagant things. And although you may have left social media, you've always stayed true to yourself and continued on this music journey, which is commendable and respectable, like to the utmost, because, people leave and they don't come back.
Right.
And so, with that being said, before we get off the air, I love to give the floor to my guests. So if there's anything that you want to say to people watching at home, give them any messages, upcoming shows, anything of that nature, the floor is yours. That's your camera. Tell them what's going on.
All right. I just want to say, listen to your gut, believe in God at all times. And the only thing some people got over you is just that they got more money than you. That's it. Sometimes you too overqualified in the field that you're in, and just believe in yourself and try to be as self-sufficient as possible. I'm like talking in bullet points. I'm just trying to get as much out there. Try to be as self-sufficient as possible, and don't be afraid to take the step. And once again, all of that ties into this 100K project that we got going on. And this is deeper than me. It's for the area. It's for independent creatives. It's like we can make, how big of a door that opens? Because once again, this is not some guy who's like TikTok viral. It's like, yo, this guy is like, we know him. We seen him. Like he put in the ground. We remember him being outside trying to sell oils and soaps, and him putting venues together. Yo, he got 50K. He made 100K off all his products. It ain't like, it's like, gimme. It's like, yo, his art is finally paying off. And if I could do it, I think it's gonna be a model that everybody gonna take. And just remember, it started right here in this room, and I spoke about it. You know what I'm saying? So those are my messages to y'all. Those are my short messages. And just love those that love you. For sure.
Manifestation, brother. Keep it going. You have a great head on your shoulders. I'm glad that we've kept this communication. I'm glad that we rekindled.
Thank you for having me, man. Thank you for having me for the Atmosphere events too, man.
Of course.
For the headline spot and all that.
Yeah, we're gonna be doing a lot more work upcoming, and we're super appreciative of. I told these guys as soon as you came around, I said, this guy's a stud. He's here. I don't want to hear no negotiation. He's a non-negotiable. He's on this. I don't care. That's how much I ride for you, bro. I think you're a great artist. I think you're a talented person. I think you're true to your core, and you never fake the funk.
Yeah.
And so with that, the utmost respect to you.
Appreciate that.
Of course. And so with that being said, everyone, thank you for tuning in for episode 158 of the Middleman Podcast. I am the man in the middle, Kevin Martinez, signing out. Peace.
All right.